What happens when a nation decides to use everything it has, in one night? What if the weapons you fear most are no longer held back, but unleashed together with no mercy? And what if you hear the sirens, but know that this time they won't save you? July 10th, 2025. It was supposed to be a quiet summer night. Instead, Ukraine was plunged into a storm of fire and steel. 400 drones, dozens of missiles, one hypersonic weapon, a single coordinated strike designed not just to destroy, but to terrify, to shock, to overwhelm. This wasn't war as we've seen it before. This was a demonstration of total force, a reminder that Russia still has power left to burn. So now ask yourself, what if the next attack doesn't last 10 hours, but 24? What if the next KINZHAL is aimed not at a bunker, but a city center? And what happens when nothing is left to hold back? It began with a sound, the dull, rising hum of engines overhead. The Geran 2, Russia's renamed version of the Iranian Shahed 136, appeared in massive numbers, hundreds of them, flying low, flying slow, but flying everywhere. Each drone carries 40 to 50 kilograms of explosives. On this night, they struck homes, power stations, and city centers. They're not smart, they're not precise, but they don't have to be. They come in swarms, and every drone forces Ukraine to fire a $1 million interceptor missile to stop a cheap weapon that costs less than a Toyota. That's the point. Russia isn't just targeting infrastructure, it's draining air defense systems, wearing down nerves, spreading terror. This is psychological warfare delivered one buzz at a time. As the drone barrage wore down defenses, something faster, smarter, and deadlier arrived. KH-101 cruise missiles flying under the radar, weaving through valleys, heading straight for their targets. Each missile carries a 450-kilogram warhead and can strike over 3,000 miles away with deadly accuracy. But the real monster behind them? The Tu-160 Blackjack, Russia's supersonic strategic bomber. With its swept wings and Mach 2 speed, the Tu-160 launched multiple KH-101s from deep within Russian airspace. It didn't need to come close. It only needed altitude. While Tu-95 bombers also joined the attack, it was the Tu-160 that symbolized raw Russian aerospace dominance. Together they struck radar networks, power grids, and military installations in the heart of Ukraine with surgical precision. KH-101s first gained fame in Syria, but here they wrote a darker chapter. Flying alongside the KH-101s were something older, but still dangerous. The KH-555, a modernized version of the Cold War's KH-55 nuclear cruise missile. Lacking the stealth and accuracy of its younger sibling, the KH-555 remains effective when used in mass. Launched primarily from Tu-95 MS bombers, these missiles were fired not just to destroy, but to confuse. They forced Ukrainian air defense systems to lock on to dozens of incoming threats at once. Some were real. Some were decoys. Some hit their targets. With a 400-kilogram payload and a range of over 2,000 kilometers, the KH-555 is a reminder. Not all old weapons are obsolete. Some are just waiting for the right war. As the skies rained fire, the ground joined in. From Russian mobile launchers came the Iskander-M and Iskander-K, a brutal pair of short-range missiles. The Iskander-M is a ballistic missile that can reach speeds of Mach 6 to 7, maneuver in flight, and strike within 5 meters of its target. The Iskander-K is a cruise variant, stealthier and more flexible. They've been used throughout the war, but on July 10th, they hit multiple Ukrainian command centers, weapons depots, and air bases. Fast, brutal, hard to intercept. Their mobility makes them harder to target. Their speed makes them nearly unstoppable. With each launch, Russia sends a message: we can strike anywhere, anytime, and you can't stop us. And then came something that no air defense on Earth can stop. The KH-47M2 KINZHAL, Russia's hypersonic missile. Fired from MiG-31K interceptors, the KINZHAL flies at Mach 10, changes trajectory mid-air, and hits its target before radars can react. First unveiled by Putin in 2018, it was called unstoppable. And on July 10th, the KINZHAL showed why. It struck near Vinnytsia, reportedly hitting a hardened underground facility. What was left? A smoking crater, stories deep. Western systems like Patriot and NASAMS can't touch it. That's not a weakness. That's physics. The KINZHAL doesn't just destroy targets, it destroys confidence. Why use all 5 weapon systems in one night? Because this wasn't just about explosions. It was about sending a message to Ukraine, to NATO, to the world. You thought we were running out of weapons? Watch what happens when we use all of them at once. The strategy was simple but devastating. Swarm with drones to blind defenses. Strike with cruise missiles to kill infrastructure. Use Iskanders to break tactical points. Mix in old KH-555s to saturate radars. Finish with a KINZHAL to remind the world nothing is safe. This is no longer just a conventional war. It's a war of attrition, a war of exhaustion, a war of fear. As the fires dimmed, smoke settled over Ukraine. But the silence that followed was not peace. It was the sound of a country bracing for the next wave. Because now, Ukraine knows the next strike won't be random. It'll be bigger, it'll be faster, and it might come without warning. The question isn't if Russia will strike again. It's how much worse it will be.